Tonight on CTV News at 6, protecting patients and staff at an Edmonton hospital.
I don't think there's any way to normalize this.
Seeking a safety prescription after a man is stabbed at the Royal Alex.
That was a very scary, real, and potentially lethal situation for everyone within 20 feet of that knife.
Demands the city do something about the charred ruins of a burnt hotel. And bright lights. Ottawa wants your thoughts on vehicle beams.
The brightness and the clarity of the headlights has changed drastically.
Cool, cloudy, and windy today. It'll be windy again tomorrow, and again on the cool side, plus snow.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. Staff are questioning the safety of the Royal Alexandra Hospital after a patient was nearly killed in a stabbing Friday night. The assault is also raising questions about when a previously promised weapons screening pilot program will start. Evan Kenny reports.
Dr. Warren Thirsk has been walking through the emergency room doors at the Royal Alexandra Hospital for 25 years. In that time, he's seen patients get more violent.
I don't think there's any way to normalize this.
He's scared for the safety of doctors, staff, and patients after an attack in the waiting room Friday night.
That was a very scary, real, and potentially lethal situation for everyone within 20 feet of that knife.
Police say a fight broke out between two men. A 42-year-old was stabbed and suffered serious life-threatening injuries.
Our current policy involves having a sign and waving a paper in front of everyone who comes through the emergency department and asking them if they have a weapon to voluntarily disclose it.
AHS announced the Royal Alex as the site for a 2-year weapons screening pilot project. Similar systems are currently in place in hospitals in Winnipeg and Windsor. The metal detector-like system would use AI to find concealed weapons. Alberta's hospitals minister says AHS is advancing a weapons screening program for the site. The request for proposals has closed, and we are working to accelerate implementation timelines. This program will add an additional layer of protection for both patients and staff.
When I go to a hockey game at Rogers Arena, there's lots of weapons screening, and I can't get in with a weapon.
Alberta's NDP agrees with the weapons screening project. It also says more resources and hospital spaces would help alleviate the problem.
I'm not asking Matt Jones to provide personal security in hospitals. I'm asking him to sit down with the security staff who are there, with the nurses, with the doctors, with the paramedics, to hear their stories and put the resources in place to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Dr. Thirsk says if nothing changes,
it is predictable and expected that violent episodes will happen.
AHS had previously said it will determine if any permanent equipment will be used in the future for emergency departments across the province. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
An autopsy will be performed tomorrow as police investigate the suspicious death of a man in West Edmonton Friday night. A youth has been arrested. Police say they responded to a home near 82nd Ave and 175th Street just after 9:30 Friday night. Officers found an injured 52-year-old man. He died shortly after in hospital. The male youth was arrested at the home. The Edmonton Police Homicide Section is investigating. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. Police say they are not looking for any additional suspects at this time. 8 years after the Humboldt Broncos bus crash, work is underway to create a permanent memorial at the crash site. On April 6, 2018, the hockey team's bus collided with a semi at an intersection near Tisdale, Saskatchewan. 16 people died, 13 others were injured. The Humboldt Broncos Memorial Committee says asphalt work for a parking lot and pathways at the site of the crash is scheduled for this year. The next phase will focus on building a monument to honor those killed. A pile of rubble along Stony Plain Road is causing safety concerns and image frustrations for nearby businesses. The debris from the Jasper Place Hotel has been on the site since it burned down in February. As Jeremy Thompson reports, the pressure is on to tidy it up.
The Jasper Place Hotel was already closed and unoccupied when a fire ripped through it in February. In the month and a half since, the structure was flattened And that's about it. Strong wind swirls dust and debris over a skinny sidewalk onto Stony Plain Road. At one corner, you can hear moving water. The director of the area's business association is frustrated by the state of things. Todd Jane says now is the time for the city of Edmonton to clean up the site and charge the property owner for costs. This site is a safety concern, and the debris needs to be contained or removed immediately. The site is fenced along the main roads, but the fence ends here in the alley. You can see some debris has already been blown in, along with the tripping hazard and eyesore of it all. There could be some health concerns here too. In 2020, AHS ordered the Jasper Place Hotel closed after a smaller fire revealed asbestos in the building. Based on a statement to CTV News from the Environmental Public Health Department of AHS, there's no evidence the asbestos was ever addressed. A provincial land title search shows the property was transferred to a numbered company last August. A City of Edmonton spokesperson says its problem properties team is investigating, and the city is currently working with the property owner to ensure the nuisance debris is removed and progress is being made to clean the site. If that falls through, then the city can clear the land and charge the owner for the work. In the meantime, the rubble remains. While council is working to crack down on derelict and vacant commercial properties, the proposed tax penalties won't be in place until at least 2030. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Construction work on Jasper Avenue begins again tomorrow. This is phase 2 of the city's Imagine Jasper Avenue project. It's part of a multi-year reconstruction plan to improve Jasper Ave. Traffic will be impacted between 117th Street and 121st Street. Work includes new storm sewers, traffic signals, and street lighting, along with upgraded landscaping and wider sidewalks. This phase is expected to be finished later this year. Jasper Ave will fully reopen to traffic this winter. The city says utility work will also take place between 121st and 124th Streets later this year. Construction on the Beverly Bridge will also restart after a winter hiatus. Tomorrow, traffic will be moved to the south side of the bridge and narrowed down to 2 lanes. The speed limit will be reduced to 60 kilometers per hour in the construction zone. The city says these changes will stay in place until the end of October, depending on weather and work progress. According to Alberta Major Projects, this one is estimated to cost around $16.7 million. Rural municipalities in Alberta are calling on the province to consider a limited grizzly bear hunt. They believe it's part of a broader plan to address safety concerns. Wildlife advocates say updated grizzly population data is needed before any decision is made. CTV's Kevin Green reports.
A resolution from Cardston County calling for a limited grizzly bear hunt won support at the Rural Municipalities of Alberta Spring Convention.
We're looking for a balanced approach that protects the lives and livelihoods of rural residents while recognizing the ongoing importance of responsible wildlife management.
Provincial data from the last 5 years shows grizzly maulings peaked in 2021, with 4 dropped to 0 in 2023 and rose to 2 in both 2024 and 2025. The same data shows 2 people were killed by grizzlies in each of 2021 and 2023. A hunt won't reduce those numbers and could make conflicts worse, according to the NDP's Sarah El-Maligi.
The only thing that reduces conflict is if you actually manage people and properties and work with communities to reduce attractants, which are the source of the conflict in the first place. So hunting does not reduce conflict.
2 years ago, the province began issuing tags for problem bears. So far, only 1 has been killed. In a statement to CTV, the Ministry of Forestry and Parks says grizzly bear populations have increased, making public awareness, education, conflict prevention, and the responder program increasingly important. Our approach is guided by science and expert advice, with a focus on maintaining public safety, reducing conflicts, and maintaining sustainable grizzly bear populations. The Alberta Wilderness Association says the province doesn't actually know how many bears there are because it hasn't counted them in years.
When you're looking at wildlife management, we really want science-based decisions, and right now we don't have the science.
A province-wide census released in 2021, which did not count federal parks, estimated Alberta's grizzly population at between 856 and 973 bears. The province thinks there could be over 1,100 now. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Turkey is on the menu today at Hope Mission. Dozens of volunteers are helping with the annual Easter banquet at one of its centers downtown. About 700 people are being fed here today in 3 separate seatings. Officials say the hearty home-style meal is possible thanks to donors. They say it helps lift the spirits of vulnerable Edmontonians at a time when many are gathering with loved ones.
We do it because we care about people. We care about those that often get missed in society. And this is a seated, plated meal where we want to give people dignity.
Easter dinner is also being served at Hope Mission's other centers, including the Caris Women's Shelter and CarePoint Wellness.
We're looking for Easter eggs. For each Easter egg we get prizes.
The historic John Walter Museum held an old-fashioned Easter egg hunt today. Kids were also tasked with finding 12 toy chickens for an extra prize. Organizers say many families make the hunt part of their annual Easter tradition.
It's important to bring the community together, I think. Really have the lovely community interactions and get outside, enjoy the weather, even if it is a little bit chilly. But we also get to see the cool history down here.
The museum tells the story of pioneer John Walter. It includes 3 of the family's original homes. That was a brisk, chilly day for an Easter egg hunt, Josh.
Yeah, it's going to be another cool one tomorrow. And as mentioned off the top of the newscast, more snow in the forecast as we head through the overnight period tonight and then again later in the day tomorrow, at least here in Edmonton and other parts of the province. It'll be a day-long snow event. Gusty. Wind right now, 22, gusting to 35 downtown. You've got gusts south of the city to about 50 kilometers per hour. 2 degrees your current temperature, and that is the daytime high for today. Started at -2, got to +2, well below average for your daytime high, 7 degrees. The average daytime high for this first week of April. Take a look outside from earlier today. This was the shot from the CTV drone brought to you by Century Casinos. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, Century Mile. Cloudy skies, cool temperatures, gusty wind. All of that will still be in effect tomorrow, but there will also be pockets of heavy snow in northern Alberta. You've got some snow right now in through the northeast. A little bit of a rain-snow mix around Whitecourt, more like showers in the Edson area. And there's where the heaviest the snow will fall over the next 24 hours, well to the north of Edmonton. Peace River overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning, 10 to 15 centimeters possible, and then through the day tomorrow and into tomorrow evening, areas further east will pick up about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. Won't be that much here in the city, but by tomorrow night, there could be a little bit of accumulation. Temperature-wise, -1 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and again, the wind is going to be a big factor, gusting to about 30 or 40 kilometers per hour right through the day tomorrow. There is a warming trend after tomorrow's snow, though. We'll show you that later in the newscast.
All right, thank you, Josh. Coming up on CTV News at 6, your next vacation might cost you more.
Strait is closed. That pipeline is still going to take at least 6 weeks to get back into flow.
Major Canadian airlines are adding a fuel surcharge on some flights. Which flights will be affected and what else you need to know before you travel. Also ahead.
The brightness and the clarity of the headlights has changed drastically.
Clearing feedback. The federal government wants to know what you think about current headlight guidelines.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The cost of jet fuel is skyrocketing as the war in Iran continues. That increase is now being passed on to consumers. As CTV's Tyler Barrow reports, there are things beyond the price tag that travelers should be thinking about.
Even as Arfan Rashid prepares for his flight to Chicago, he doesn't see himself getting on planes unless required.
Like maybe I would travel only for business purpose.
Originally from Pakistan, he won't be flying home anytime soon as the war on Iran has raised safety concerns in some regions and hiked the cost of jet fuel just about everywhere. Air Canada recently announced a surcharge for its vacation packages reflecting increased costs of ground packages, while WestJet said last week it would be adding a temporary fuel surcharge of $60 starting Wednesday on all bookings made with a companion voucher.
We're looking at getting cash, additional cash, from the use of frequent flyer points.
WestJet is also scaling back operations by 1% in April and 3% in May, consolidating flights on lower demand routes and adjusting the travel period for seasonal offerings. Fuel is the biggest contributor to airline operating costs. According to Gradick, about a third of the world's aviation fuel originates through the Strait of Hormuz, which is now shut down by the war in Iran. He says jet fuel continues to climb, sitting above $170 a barrel. Prior to the war, it was at 65.
Nothing has gone through there in 6 weeks. The last of those ships to arrive in destination is this week. The war keeps going and the strait is closed. That pipeline is still going to take at least 6 weeks to get back into flow.
A major disruption, which Gradick warns could have airports in Asian countries unable to provide fuel. One travel consultant says now is the time to have insurance.
Be flexible because dates and routes may change, and avoid tight connections. More schedule volatility may occur.
Travelers heading out, not sure if they want to deal with the headache going forward.
Definitely causes some pause and thinking before you travel.
I think going overseas or to Europe, it probably will be.
There is not a very convenient situation that I will travel for pleasure.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Drivers have about 2 weeks to give feedback on headlights and how driving at night impacts them. Transport Canada is conducting a survey to see if new guidelines for vehicle headlights are needed. Amanda Anderson reports.
Headlights have changed a lot over the years.
They've gone from bi-xenons to LED lights. I mean, they used to have incandescent light bulbs before. So the brightness and the clarity of the headlights has changed drastically.
Now the federal government wants to know how brighter headlights and glare are impacting road users. Transport Canada has launched an online survey asking people about the factors that contribute to headlight glare, how it affects their driving, and what, if anything, should be done about it.
For the most part, I don't have too many issues. There are a few, like if you've got a big truck right behind you and you're in a smaller car, that it's really bright in your headlight or in your rearview mirror. That's kind of the worst.
I think maybe some of the new lights are brighter, but it doesn't bother me.
Christian Gersdorf, a longtime auto technician and sales executive, says lights that are too bright are often aftermarket.
All of a sudden putting those bright blue headlights in there, a person really has to make sure that they're checking what the light bulbs themselves say to make sure that they're actually allowed to be used in their car.
Some vehicles are equipped with technology to automatically adjust mirrors, while others require manual adjustment to help with headlight glare.
It's a matter of getting to know the vehicle that you own specifically and just being better prepared in case somebody does come up behind you with their high beams, so you know to flick it, or with your side mirrors sometimes you have to just angle them outward so you don't get blinded.
Some drivers say they're more concerned with people who don't turn their headlights on at all.
You can see their taillights aren't on, and yeah, that's just dangerous.
The person in the driver's seat sees the lights out the front of the vehicle, they see their dash lights on, they just start driving. They don't realize that the switch on their headlight switch has an auto setting. And if it's not set to auto, your taillights aren't turned on.
The headlight survey is available on Transport Canada's website until April 20th. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Still to come, the sky's the limit.
It's not like as simple as just running up a court and shooting a ball. There's form to basketball.
A local teen is becoming a dominant basketball player with a little help from her height. And
it's a bright spot on the moon, and we would like to call it Carol.
How astronauts are marking a monumental moment in history.
There is a chance of some wet snow overnight tonight, but it looks like most of the snow for the Edmonton area is going to come later in the day tomorrow. Windy for tomorrow as well. All those details in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by Green Tree Outdoor Living, where your dream yard becomes a reality. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
An Edmonton area teenager is putting in the work to make her basketball dreams come true. Her coach says while her height helps, it's her dedication that makes her such a slam dunk. Connor Hogg has more.
Even among the players at the swoosh basketball tournament in South Edmonton Saturday, Erin Miller stands out above the rest.
It's very good for basketball, and it can be good for other things as well. Like some of my friends are really short, so I can do stuff off the top shelf for them.
Miller has enjoyed playing basketball since grade 3. She got serious about the sport last year.
And I looked and I'm like, well, that kid is really tall. And I thought she was 17. At the time she was 13. And I think she was 6'3" or 6'4".
Now 6'7" at 15 years old, Miller and her parents credit her coach Ronald Hopkins with teaching her being good at basketball takes much more than height alone.
It's just been such an immense difference in how she's got on. It's been phenomenal for us to see.
Old school, back to the basket, post moves. She can do a jump hook just like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It takes a while to learn how to get the right things to work, and it's not like as simple as just running up a court and shooting a ball. There's form to basketball, like with shooting form and like layups. You need to work to get where you want to be.
Hopkins says while Miller's height is an advantage, it's her discipline that he believes will take her far.
Let's say this. I know for sure she'll go to college.
Miller's dad watching from the sidelines, tallying scores, and seeing his daughter succeed at something she loves.
Just being as committed as she is, and she's not let her schoolwork slip as well. She's practicing and trying, and then when she tries it in a game and it comes off, it's just the greatest feeling to see it.
Getting to watch his daughter put in the work and see the results, passing on her skills to her teammates as well as her younger siblings, hoping to get to the point where she can play professionally.
Even if that means getting up at 4 in the morning to go somewhere for this, I would take the drive. I would do anything for it because I love this sport.
A demonstration of dedication to make a dream come true. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
All right, so people going back to work tomorrow. A lot of people had today off. The commute in the morning and the afternoon might be a little different.
Morning, I think, is okay. Maybe a little slick on area highways west of the city. It's the one coming home tomorrow that I think is going to be a bigger issue. We'll explain why in a second. River Valley Sky Camps brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right over. It's free. Cloudy skies. 2 degrees in Edmonton right now. That is our daytime high. Fort McMurray hit 4, it was 5 in Grand Prairie. Look at Jasper, 14 degrees this afternoon. We'll see temperatures in that 13, 14 degree range by Friday, but that warming trend doesn't last forever. It does look like we're back into the 5 to 10 degree range in the long range for next week. And there's another chance after tomorrow. There's another chance of some snow, maybe heavy snow for parts of central and north central Alberta on Sunday. We'll deal with that later in the week. Here's what we've got coming for the next 24 hours, though. Snow right now across the northeast. Rain and a rain-snow mix in the Edson Whitecourt areas. That's what may slide through the Edmonton region after midnight. So late this evening, overnight tonight. Roads may be a little wet. Temperatures are around -1 tomorrow morning. I don't think there's going to be a lot of icing on roadways, but maybe a little slick, especially just west of the city. That low pressure system there, as it moves east, will drop the heaviest of the snow across northern parts of the province. This will be later in the day for Cold Lake and areas off to the south of Fort McMurray. It'll be overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning in the northwest. We could stop this at like 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Already you've got about 10 to 15 in through that Peace River region. Lesser amounts further to the east. Most of that snow falls through the course of the day tomorrow. Here in Edmonton, this model has us at 5. There's a lot of uncertainty with just how much is going to stack up on the ground. A lot of this is going to depend on timing. If it comes late enough in the day and temperatures have cooled off by then, maybe you don't get as much melt on contact. It's mostly going to be grassy and snow-covered areas, though, as opposed to roadways, where you have the bulk of the snow accumulation here in the city, at least. Further to the north, areas like Fort McMurray, you will get snow. You're not included in the snowfall warning, but 5-ish centimeters of snow there. There's the morning hours. You can see by about 8 or 9, that snow's mostly off to the east of the Edmonton area. So if you're east, northeast of the city, you're probably dealing with some blowing snow in that area. Blowing snow will be a big issue through the afternoon hours in east central Alberta. It'll taper off. The snow will across the northwest. Here in Edmonton, it kind of drops back in on us after breaking midday. So early tomorrow, and then again later in the day would be our best chance for some snow. By the time we get to Tuesday night, most of that snow is done. Wednesday, another chance of flurries across the northwest and more snow in through the mountain parks. There's actually no snowfall warning, but for overnight tonight and into tomorrow, special weather statement for the mountain parks and the foothills. They could see 5 to 10 centimeters. It's 4 in Fort McMurray right now, 3 in Red Deer, and 2 here in Edmonton. There's your wind, gusting to about 30 to 50 kilometers per hour, and that'll continue through the overnight and through most of the day tomorrow. -1 in the morning, 2 degrees in the afternoon. You get a bit of a break there, late morning, early afternoon, before that second wave of snow rolls in. around supper time and into the evening hours. 5 degrees, mostly cloudy Wednesday, 8 for Thursday, and then double digits Friday and Saturday. By the way, Midnight Friday is the BMW in Barcelona early bird prize deadline in the Money Millions lottery. You can take the car and the trip or $200,000. Go to MoneyMillionsLottery.com.
Thank you, Josh. History has been made this afternoon. Humans traveled farther from Earth than ever before. The crew of the Artemis 2 mission have been engaged in their lunar flyby period for several hours. And as this hour closes, they'll make their closest approach to the moon. Heather Butts has more.
From the cabin of Integrity here.
A monumental moment in history and a giant leap for deep space exploration, marked in time with some poignant words by Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen.
As we surpass the furthest distance humans have ever traveled from planet Earth, we do so in honoring the extraordinary efforts and feats of our predecessors in human space exploration.
Part of the first crewed lunar mission in 50 years, hitting the milestone everyone has been waiting for, the farthest humans have ever traveled from Earth.
Over 55 years ago, Rubble, Swigert, and Hayes flew 248,655 statute miles away from Earth. Today, for all humanity, you're pushing beyond that frontier.
4 astronauts on board the Orion space capsule, breaking the record set in 1970 by the crew of Apollo 13. Now getting a look at parts of the moon never seen before by human eyes. As they set the record, another milestone.
The crew also called down 2 craters not yet named that they would like to name.
One called Integrity in honor of their spacecraft, and another to honor a member of their space family, astronaut Reed Weissman's late wife.
It's a bright spot on the moon. And we would like to call it Carol. And you spell that C-A-R-R-O-L-L.
The team embracing each other, an emotional moment in space.
Integrity and Carol Crater, loud and clear. Thank you.
Their lunar flyby is expected to last several hours. The wife of Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen sharing her perspective with me on CTV National News this weekend.
Why do you think it's important for Canadians to pay attention to this?
I really hope Canadians can see themselves in this mission. So this is the very best of human innovation and human imagination, and Canadians have earned their place alongside other international partners and, of course, Americans to be on this mission.
One this crew hopes is just the beginning.
They choose this moment to challenge this generation and the next to make sure this record is not long-lived.
Heather Butts, CTV News, Toronto.
Still ahead, refusing to back down.
The entire country could be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night.
Donald Trump's series of ultimatums regarding the escalating conflict with Iran.
Her spirits are okay, not great, but okay. She is in prison, and it's not a pleasant place to be anywhere.
And a Canadian woman claiming to be the victim of a romance scam has been in a Korean jail for months. What her lawyers believe could happen.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Donald Trump didn't back down today after his profanity-laced messaging over the weekend. The U.S. president says the Tuesday night deadline for reopening the Strait of Hormuz is final. CTV's Judy Trin reports.
As crowds gathered to watch children roll Easter eggs across the White House lawn, the U.S. president touted his war in the Middle East.
That enemy is strong. Not so strong like they were about a month ago.
The example Donald Trump cited was Iran's failure to capture 2 U.S. airmen. The F-15, a $100 million fighter jet, was shot down by a shoulder-propelled missile. The pilot was found by special forces within hours, while the weapons technician climbed up a cliff and hid for 48 hours. The White House presented his rescue as their Easter story.
Shot down on a Friday, Good Friday, hidden in a cave, a crevice, all of Saturday, and rescued on Sunday.
The Americans used 155 aircraft and launched decoys to confuse the Iranians about the location of the second airman.
Our intelligence reflects that the Iranians were embarrassed and ultimately humiliated.
The Trump administration says Iran will face further humiliation if it doesn't reopen the Strait of Hormuz on Tuesday. The White House says it will bomb critical infrastructure like bridges and power plants.
The entire country could be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night.
Meanwhile, Iran has rejected a ceasefire proposal. Trump's former national security advisor says the president is in a dilemma.
He's near meltdown. He'd love to get out of this and declare victory, but he knows he can't do it as long as the Strait of Hormuz is closed.
This war, launched by the Americans and Israelis, is entering its 6th week. So far, 3,500 people have been killed, including 1,200 members of Iran's military, including some top officials. But 13 U.S. soldiers have also died. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
A U.S. federal judge has ordered that the contract for the new White House ballroom be made public. The ruling stems from a Freedom of Information request by an advocacy group in October. That same month, the East Wing was demolished to make room for Donald Trump's $400 million ballroom project. The administration has 2 weeks to hand over the contract. Ahead of the World Cup, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has provided some clarity on what role its ICE agents play in Canada. An ICE spokesperson says its agents do not carry firearms and do not make arrests or execute search warrants in Canada. However, they can work along with Canadian authorities on investigations. In Toronto, City Council passed a motion last month which opposes ICE agents at World Cup games, and Canada's Public Safety Minister says the American agency has no authority or jurisdiction on Canadian soil. Savannah Guthrie has returned to the Today Show, hosting for the first time since her mother disappeared more than 2 months ago.
Pretty shot of the sun coming up. Good morning. Welcome to Today on this Monday morning. We are so glad you started your week with us, and it is good to be home.
Yes, it is good to have you back.
Guthrie was welcomed with open arms by her co-workers and fans outside. The investigation into her mother's disappearance is ongoing. There has been no sign of Nancy Guthrie. Authorities believe she was taken against her will from her Arizona home on February 1st. Pope Leo remembered his predecessor during the traditional Easter Monday blessing at the Vatican today.
Con particolare affetto, alla luce del risorto, ricordiamo oggi Papa Francesco.
The Pontiff referred to Pope Francis's profound witness of faith and love. Francis passed away last year on Easter Monday following a long illness. Today, Pope Leo also said it was important that the Easter message of hope reaches the oppressed. We have an update about an alleged romance scam spanning Canada, South Africa, and South Korea. A 59-year-old woman who is deaf thought she'd found love online. But when she tried to meet him, she ended up in a foreign jail. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more on how she landed there and the efforts to get her out.
Inside this South Korean jail, Spring Parks of Surrey, BC, has been locked up for more than 2 months.
Her spirits are okay, not great, but okay. She is in prison, and it's not a pleasant place to be anywhere.
The 59-year-old is deaf and struggles to communicate. She was caught entering South Korea with close to 4 kilograms of methamphetamine hidden in the bottom of her bag.
The prosecutors, naturally, when they see this amount of drugs and drugs being brought in, they don't believe the allegation that this was a scam.
But that's exactly what Park's defense team is convinced of after learning more about her story of traveling from Vancouver to meet a man she'd fallen in love with online, who they say first had her pick up a bag in South Africa.
They prey on wanting this love, wanting attention, wanting someone in their actual life in their later years. Even incredibly intelligent people get caught up in this.
And for Parks, who lawyers say had no idea what was in the bag, then came the hard realization her new love was using her as a drug mule.
She had a difficult time processing
this whole situation. She was very emotional and sad.
Her daughters, Andrea and Laureen, in Metro Vancouver, learned their mom was in a foreign jail in a single shocking text and haven't been able to speak to her.
It's a mix of like trying to stay strong and then feeling completely overwhelmed at the same time.
Since they first went public with their mom's story, they've also realized she is not alone.
Wow, this is really happening to a lot of people. This is something like bigger than our mom at this point.
Vancouver lawyer Jason Tarno has represented several romance scam victims and says the scammers are sophisticated and rarely caught.
They're using burner accounts and burner phones and burner email addresses, and they're gone with the wind after their parcel gets intercepted.
The team representing Spring Parks feels a good outcome here would be a conviction where her disability is taken into account. She's given credit for time already served and is released in a few months. A bad outcome? Up to 10 years in prison. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Fans eager to see Canada's first ever WNBA team on the court can buy single game tickets starting this week.
I'm excited to get started and to build something special.
The Toronto Tempo revealed its inaugural roster this weekend, picking 11 players in this year's expansion draft. The team, co-owned by tennis legend Serena Williams, is set to host Washington for their season opener May 8th in Toronto. Still ahead, the Hockeyville Prize is awarded.
We had two great, amazing communities that hockey and their arenas are the heart of their community.
How the contest helped a community in healing, also coming up.
And it's great for them to have a tournament where they come, they make new memories.
Why thousands of hockey players were in Edmonton over the weekend. Checking on the markets, the Canadian dollar closed near 71 cents U.S. Oil was up 87 cents, closing at $112.41 a barrel. Gold gained $5. The TSX and Dow Jones both ended the day higher, up 73 points and 165 points respectively. The town of Taber has been awarded $250,000 as the 2026 Kraft Hockeyville champion. The money will pay for upgrades to the Taber Community Centre, needed after a Zamboni explosion in December. The community has been raising funds to rebuild its arena and community centre since. After a two-day public vote, Taber was picked as the Hockeyville winner over Tumbler Ridge, BC. Taber will also have the chance to host an NHL preseason game in 2027 and $10,000 worth of youth hockey equipment. And while there's disappointment in Tumbler Ridge, being a finalist in the contest gave locals something money can't buy. CTV's Shannon Patterson explains.
After a week of festivities, hundreds gathered at the Tumbler Ridge Arena Saturday night to learn if their town would be the next Kraft Hockeyville.
We wanted to win first for our youth and our children in the community. $250,000 and the chance to host a preseason NHL game.
Tumbler Ridge was nominated after February's mass shooting left 8 community members dead, including 5 children from the local high school.
Do I think there's some upset people in Tumbler Ridge, whether that's youth or children or adults? 100%. There's got to be. We had two great, amazing communities that hockey and their arenas are the heart of their community. Would we have loved to win it in Tumbler Ridge? Absolutely. There's no question there. But Taber, Alberta is well deserving as well.
Of course, we were hoping for the win, but really, we did win.
For coming first in BC voting and coming second overall in the country, Tumbler Ridge was awarded $150,000 for arena upgrades.
I believe that we're going to have conversations in the coming weeks as to how we're going to exactly spend the money. And the dollar value changes what we can do.
I also think that we could be reaching out to the province of British Columbia and the federal government and trying to levy that $150,000 for some extra money to help with those upgrades.
The prize money wasn't the only benefit for this small community. Just 8 weeks after an unspeakable tragedy,
this helped change the narrative in the streets. This allowed people to become excited again about something.
People will process their grieving at different levels, but I think realizing our community came together as a whole, lots of people there, I think it was important for our community. I really believe that.
While Tumbler Ridge may not be the next Kraft Hockeyville,
truthfully, it was a beacon of light in a very dark time. It's given us something else to focus on, and we came out as winners at the end.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News.
Nearly 5,000 hockey players from more than 300 teams took over rinks in Edmonton for the Native Hockey Alberta Provincial Championships. Evan Kenny reports.
Thousands of Indigenous hockey players came to Edmonton over the weekend with the goal of winning Alberta's native hockey provincials and the expectation of making lifelong friends.
I played in this tournament when I was a kid, and I remember all my teammates. We're still friends. Now our kids are playing, and now our grandkids will be playing in this tournament. Kids from Treaty 6, 7, and 8 First Nations, Métis settlements, and communities from around the province come for one of the biggest hockey tournaments in Western Canada. Honestly, it's amazing to see this because we don't have this kind of, representation for our kids, and it's great for them to have a tournament where they come, they make new memories, and strengthen their communities.
It's just always been fun. We like it. It's fun. We're getting to meet some new boys. And meet new friends, new people.
Yeah, I've been playing since I was a little kid.
Oh no, it's so fun. Love the crowd. It's just real fun to play out here. Community's the best.
I had a new player last year, and their experience was his passion.
You get to come out here and you're representing, a lot of them represent their nation, their settlement or their First Nation, so that's who they want to play for. And they have a lot of pride in going home with that gold medal. And for the hundreds of teams who don't win,
it's pretty special, seeing everyone here, watching us play.
They'll try again next year, creating even more memories. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up, final stop.
It's been such a blessing to be able to bring women's hockey to Edmonton, and hopefully one day Edmonton will get a team as well.
Rogers Place prepares to host women's hockey.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk.
Tuesday in your morning, what exercise is best for your body? New research shows any movement may be better than finding the perfect movement. We'll see you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
The PWHL will make its last stop on its takeover tour at Rogers Place tomorrow. This afternoon, the Vancouver Golden Eyes held an open practice at the downtown community rink. Fans had a chance to watch some pro hockey drills and meet the players. This will be the second visit in Edmonton this season for the Professional Women's Hockey League.
I've been fortunate enough to play in 2 takeover games already in Edmonton, and I also had 2 games with Team Canada here earlier on in the year. And so it's been such a blessing to be able to bring women's hockey to Edmonton, and hopefully one day Edmonton will get a team as well. It's a big hockey city that deserves it.
Eyes play the Boston Fleet tomorrow evening at 7:30 at Rogers Place. Tickets can be purchased on the PWHL website. At Rogers Place tonight, the Oil Kings have a shot at making it to the next round of the WHL playoffs.
Carter Sutherland works away from Williams, moving in. Got no shot there. Looks across. One-timer, they score!
That goal, scored in double overtime yesterday afternoon, kept Edmonton in the series. They beat the Blades 3-2, forcing Game 7 tonight. Puck drops at 7. Whoever wins will take on the Prince Albert Raiders in the second round of the playoffs. I love watching junior hockey, especially playoffs. If we leave right after the show,
we could get there?
I think so. If the anthem, if it's really slow, maybe. So just accommodate us. We'll meet you there.
You only want to be there for the second and the third to see how it wraps up anyways, right? -1 tomorrow morning, 2 degrees tomorrow afternoon. There's a chance of some wet snow overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. And then a bit of a break before the snow returns around supper time and through the evening hours. Wind to be gusting to about 40 or 50 kilometers per hour through the day. So it's going to be another cold, cloudy, cool, cloudy, and blustery day. As far as how much snow, it doesn't really look like a ton of accumulation here in the city, but there might be a centimeter or 3 on the ground when you wake up Wednesday morning. 5 degrees Wednesday, 8 on Thursday, and then into double digits for Friday and Saturday.
Sounds great. Thank you, Josh, and thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, check out our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a great evening.
See ya.